Good morning. Welcome to the JagCorner. Um, if you're new here, well, I don't think there's anybody here yet, but give me a shout out when you show up. Um, let me fix some things here, make sure the chat shows up correctly. May need to scale this down a bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, welcome to the JagCorner. We're going to do some programming this morning. It's the morning where I'm at. It's not really early, but it's still fairly early. Still playing with the idea of doing these in the morning exclusively. I had the idea of maybe doing both a morning and evening stream on the same day. That way I can cover more ground, make sure that those here in the States, they get a chance to watch, and those who are on the other side of the planet can get a chance to watch too. But anyways, today we're going to do a little bit of programming. I'm going to start off with something fun. I'm thinking I'm going to spend some time in Flappy McFur. I just the other day I built a list of some things that obviously needed to be done. A lot of them I don't know if I'll be able to do on stream simply because they'll just take too long. But today we're going to do something that shouldn't take too long to fix. Let's get the game started and make sure that's all working on stream. Switch over to that. Make sure virtual Jaguar is showing up. We're going to be working exclusively in emulation today, and for Flappy McFur it works pretty good. There's some stuttering on my system, and I imagine there'll probably be a little bit more because I'm streaming as well, but for what we're doing, what we're testing, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I should probably, I'll show you here in just a second. Let me just double check everything. I'm gonna scoot some stuff around. Yeah, there we go. Good. Yeah. Okay. Let's jump into Flappy McFur. So what I'm going to be fixing today is there are points when you're going between the pipes where the pipes are too low on the screen. Now on a CRT it'd probably look fine because there's a CRT crops the image just a little bit, depending on the CRT too. Some are worse than others, and turn the music off. In fact, I may switch that so it's off all the time. In fact, yeah. Let's do that first. I haven't looked at this code for Flappy in a very, very long time. Looks like I have it fairly organized. So for those who aren't aware, I released Flappy McFur. I'm going to close this. I released Flappy McFur back in 2016. We did a physical release of that. And I believe there were only 100 copies. There may be a few more than that. But that was the first game I've ever programmed, pretty sure. And it was the first game on the Jag that we ever did. Let's see here. Let's look for music. Hey, music toggle right there. Menu position. That's not what we're looking for. Reset all button. Yeah. What we're doing here is I have these button aids down in the bottom right corner. X Chaos, welcome to the stream. Hey, don't worry, you'll be able to get a copy. I'm packing Flappy McFur in with Crescent Memories with 2 other games. And so you'll be able to get that. And it's fairly identical to Flappy McFur is fairly identical to the original release. There's some changes, like for example, the save system. Before we were doing a password save. In this version, all your data will be saved to the EEPROM, to the cartridge, and so you won't have to worry about that. Other than that, it's pretty much the same game. I did redo the code for Flappy's movement, so it's slightly more, I consider it more polished this time. I've had some people complain that it actually doesn't feel as good. So we may tweak that eventually in future streams. I personally feel it's fine. Flappy Bird is a hard game to begin with, and so Flappy McFur kind of feels the same. But yeah, definitely look forward to getting a copy of that. I still don't have a release date for this. I would like to get it. My goal is in the next month to get most everything polished off so I can get it to play testing, and then do some more changes during play testing. But I'd like to get it done next year sometime. I think it's possible. But anyways, let me see if I can find that music toggle right there. Music toggle ++. So I have a game settings here that's being initialized. Let's find out where that is. Let's find this right here. Search. Probably music toggle right there. Hey, look at that. I already had it set up in my main file. So we're going to turn that off. I don't know if somebody's pirated Flappy McFur yet. I don't know if the ROM is online. I haven't checked in a while. I know because there's so few copies that a lot of people have probably been reluctant to ruin the label in order to get the ROM online. But I know there's been a few copies that popped up on eBay, and they've been really expensive. And yeah, so and don't buy it. Just please be patient. There's no reason to spend, a few $100s on a copy of Flappy Bird. At the end of the day, don't do that. Just wait for Crescent Memories. Okay, that should set our music to off when we go in. There may be another change here I'll do really quick so we can get into the game faster. Oh, so if we get the pipe thing fixed here, we're going to do something that's probably a little more boring. Oh no, the music's playing. Why are you playing? That means it's being initialized somewhere else. Let's go back here, see where else it's being initialized. Let's turn it off here as well. I don't think that's going to make a difference there. Player, turn the music off. Make sure we remember that so we know it's finished. Game when. Oh, I think we need to actually toggle the music. We're setting the variable, but it's not actually running. The commands needed to. So yeah, we set it there. Look at all that code. Yeah, there's a lot, and this game could probably be a lot simpler code-wise. If I decided to rebuild this one from scratch again, I think I could simplify it because I'm already seeing things that I'm like, oh, why did I do that? I can't remember when I did the rebuild. I think it was in shortly after we released Flappy Bird. It was probably 2017, 2018. Yeah, so we're doing a pause here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just up front, before we run into our while loop for the game, I'm just going to pause the module and I didn't want to do that, and mark it as debug. That way, if I step away from this for a while, I know I can come back and just delete that line. Okay, let's just make sure that's working before we move on. Bob Dunlock, good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. I don't know how interesting this programming is going to be. Hey, the music's gone. Okay. So, if you're just joining us, what I'm fixing here is in some modes, so there's a few different modes here in the game. I think it shows up worse in Dodger mode. The top pipe comes down a little bit too far. And so I'm going to see if I can find an example of that before we jump into code. Yeah, so right there, you can see it right there, up at the top. First pipe, there's an issue. So the way I'm doing the pipes is I randomly pick a center point, and then the position of the top pipe and the bottom pipe are determined based on on that center point. And so I think what I need to do is just reduce. Well, there's two variables going on there. It calculates the space between the pipes, how much space there is, and that's important because that really affects the difficulty of the game. And then we have to, then there's the variable of that center point, so how far up and down it can go. So I got to find that. It's been a while. Like my game state here, there's way too much going on. I should probably, well, it looks like I'm breaking that out into different functions, but those should probably be broken out into different source files. I'm not going to do that today, though. We're going to see if we can find that code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type in pipe. Actually, no, a better one is probably distance. There it is, right there. And it looks like I have the logic repeating for each game mode, which makes this, I probably should have unified that at some point. How much time? Well, in this case, 5 years. To be honest, this game probably shouldn't have taken more than a year. All 3 games, actually. The rebuild of Flappy McFur, Oddball, and Auto Would Be Watching. Probably shouldn't have taken me more than a year. But yeah. One Bite Cake, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yeah, so these, like, they're really relatively simple games, but remember, I'm not a veteran coder. I'm not an elite coder. I've been coding seriously for about 5 years now, but it's all self-taught. I haven't taken any classes, and on top of that, it's for the Jag, and so, which is probably the worst place to start coding on, but I guess I like doing it the hard way. So if I were to start over on this and I didn't have my day job or anything like that, I could easily get these done probably in a few months at this point at my skill level. But life happens, and I have a lot of other things I want to do, and to be honest, this hasn't been a high priority for me, just emotionally. In a lot of ways, some things have happened over the last year that have really taken the wind out of my sails, and so I feel like I'm getting that wind back. I'm hoping these streams actually help with that, and so because if people are interested in seeing code, then yeah, we'll do some code. Building Skynet. Oh no, I'm not that good. Nor would I want to be that good. Let's see here. So create a random distance between the pipes. So that's where we set our distance. Move back to pipe start position. So that's the X position where we move it back to the right side of the screen. And then right here, this is probably, pipes Y. This I think is our center point. Let's see here. So we're moving it at least 45 pixels down, and then we're randomly selecting 108 pixels after that 45 pixels down. So this is probably what we want to work with. So if I just bump this, because it's by default, it'll always be at least 45 pixels down, that center point. So if I bring it up a little bit by setting this to 35, that would probably do the trick. And I should probably build in some debug code to make this a little bit easier to test, but it seems to happen often enough that I don't need to do that. I don't think people building Skynet are supposed to be good. Isn't Elon Musk's thing called Skynet? It's got me a little bit concerned. So, let's see here. Okay, let's build that. What we're doing here won't cause any bugs, so that's the really boring part when your code is actually bad, or you're dividing by 0 or something and don't know it, and that's the boring stuff, trying to track that stuff down. Here, this is pretty simple. So okay, I actually did that just in classic mode, so sorry, I need to go and do that in Dodger. And then there it is. Move back. No. Negative 112. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, yeah. So Dodger mode's a little bit different because the pipes are offset rather than vertically aligned, or vertically aligned. But yeah, so bottom pipe, move back to the start position, create a random. Yeah, so I'm moving both pipes independently. So yeah, pipe down sprite. So that's the pipe that's facing down. And we're changing all that. What about the pipe up sprite right there? Am I doing those separately? Okay, so it's setting its X position. Huh. Dev equals do the math. Yes, do the math. That's been the fun part about programming here is getting better at math. So I've never been terrible at it. I just programming forces you to get better at it, and I've enjoyed that. Create a random distance between pipes according to mode difficulty curve. I think, have I added the difficulty curve to this mode? I don't think I have. I'm just worried about breaking something else. Check distance and alignment. If pipes are supposed to be vertically aligned, make sure that they are. So I'll give you some secrets to this mode of Flappy McFur. So when it starts, it's always offset. I think the bottom pipe comes first, and then the top pipe, and then eventually it will decide, oh, I want those to be switched. And so you have to be aware of that when you're playing the game. And then the last mode it will do is it will line the pipes up before switching back to the bottom pipe first and the top pipe second. And so I have logic that's checking for all that. No, never divide by 0. Man, I had a bug that I think it was an audit we'll be watching, because there's a lot of stat code being done, and I was dividing by 0, and it took me forever to find that I was doing that. It was literally one piece of code to fix that. But okay, so bottom pipe, move back to start, create a random distance in between. So yeah, I am doing, this is the down sprite and this is the up sprite. So I think I'm only concerned with the down sprite. Let's see here. Yeah, that should never be going any lower, I don't think. Let's see here. Am I manipulating the Y anywhere else? So right here. Too close. What does that mean? An X aligned. Pipe up sprite Y minus 112. It's less than 90. Oh, great. I really should rewrite all this. Too far apart. Not X line. Oh, okay. So it's just checking. So it's randomly placing the pipes on the x-axis. And then I have some logic that just checks if they're too close, let's spread them apart just a little bit. To make sure that the player can actually, curve underneath the pipe or over the pipe. That's what that looks like there. So I am the up sprite. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the down sprite. So it's probably right here. This is where we're having some issues. Pipe down sprite. Why am I not? Okay, yeah, right there. So we set a initial position, which this is just going to be off the screen. So I'm not worried about that. Yeah, it's right here. Minus 112. And so what that does is it lines the pipes up, and then it subtracts another. Okay, yeah, this is it. So I just need to bump this up by, like, I don't know, around 10 pixels. Let's just bump it up to 35. I think that'll do the trick. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I could actually make this build process faster, and that's kind of what I'm going to do here in the second half of the stream, which I'll probably jump over here in about 10 or 15 minutes if we get this fixed, at least for this mode. Roger, start. It's kind of hard to play in the emulator. Oh no, it's still hanging down, like really far. Here, I'm going to be dramatic with this. Too far apart and not X-line. So I think this is only happening if they're too far apart, which isn't good. So we probably need to change all this. Let's see here. Pipe. Not the up sprite. Yeah, we don't have time for this. I want to go and rewrite this so there's just a flag that tells it if the pipes are aligned or separated. Because right now I'm in the parameters for my if statements. I'm doing all that logic in one place. I should be doing that earlier. So this is easier to read, basically. Unless I have my up, no, it's down sprite. That's definitely correct. I'm going to be dramatic with this. We're going to make this 100 pixels. Do that. We should see something for sure. Let me know if the audio is bad. I haven't. I did a little audio test before we started, but yeah. Oh, that put it way up there. Oh, okay. So that's. Is that? Oh, I forgot to change the mode. No, we're not even playing the right mode. I should probably switch that too. So it just starts that way. Okay, thanks. Now it's way down. It's still way down. Oh, that one was fine. That one was fine. I don't think this is right. Yeah, the classic mode is just classic Flappy Bird. It's just pretty simple. And I recently put in, I haven't done this on a stream, but I put in, so the first like 10 pipes, around 10 pipes, 10 or 20 pipes, the pipes are pretty far apart. And that's to get people kind of used to the movement, especially if it's the first time that they've played it. And they can get through those first few pipes before it narrows down to a difficulty level, which is maybe still, it might be too difficult. I might space those out a little bit before release, but I found that I've gotten pretty good at it over time, but really far apart it looked like. Yeah. Oh, in Dodger mode, Bob Dunlop. Let's see here, 100 pipe up, pipe down sprite. Yeah, these are all, it should be this here. Is greater than 0. Huh. Equals 0. I wonder if this is throwing it off. Because this piece of code is make sure you don't see the top of the sprite. That's what this is doing. And so maybe I just need to pull this back like that. Let's set this back to 35. I really think I need to rebuild this. I should have reviewed this code before the stream, but that's okay. Because that's what this code does. What it's saying is, okay, so our down sprite, so the pipe that's sticking down, its origin point's at the top of the sprite, which is the part that we're seeing that we don't want to see on screen. It's saying if it's greater than, before it said 0 pixels, if it's greater than 0, push it back to 0. And we may need to push it up just a little bit, so into the negative space. So I'm hoping that that does the trick. Pipe. Because this puts create a random distance. That's not what's going. Well, that is kind of what's happening here. Let's add another 8 pixels to this. Oh yeah, that was classic mode, Bob Dunlop. Yeah, they start pretty far apart, which is really nice. And it does feel relaxing, but then it slowly, each time you pass the pipe, it gets just a little bit closer until what I found is the right amount of difficulty, but it may be too hard still, so I might change that later. But yes, it is compatible with Pro Controller. In fact, you can press pretty much every button on the controller, and I believe Flappy McFur will flap. I think so. In the original, it did. I don't know if I have it in this yet, but definitely in the release, we'll have that. Okay, I bumped that up 8 pixels. bump that. Let's give that another try. We may get nowhere with this. I probably should have spent 10 minutes with the code and gotten familiar with it. It's been a long time since I've looked at this, so this was a different person. A VR version? You know, we were talking, it isn't VR, but it's kind of VR. So I believe it's in the Jaguar SDK, or maybe it's just a rumor. I can't remember. Oh, whoops, I did it again. I need to switch the mode. There were plans to enable a peripheral, probably just a cable, that would allow you to plug your links into the Jaguar and use the links as a kind of, I don't know if you're familiar with the GameCube. You could do that with some games in the Game Boy Advance. Well, the Jaguar had plans for that, and I think it was specifically for Alien vs. Predator. You would be able to use the links as your motion detector. Oh, I think that may have done it. Let's play here for a bit. It's switching. Ah, too close. Way far. Yeah, we're gonna have to go and tweak this later. You can't even see the bottom pipe. Yeah, this code really needs to be reworked. It's a mess. Oh no. I think we fixed it though. Oh, look at that. I got a high score. But anyways, the links in the Jag, you could plug those together. So my brother had an idea, and I can't remember which brother this was. But what we would do is before releasing this, we'd have some code in place where we would develop a links version of this game, but it would be from the perspective of Flappy McFur. And so it'd be first person, and then we'd have the sprite scale and go past you, kind of like, you know, first person view. So not quite VR, but it would have been cool to. So you can only, not only can you play with the Pro controller, but you could play with your links as well on the Jag. So I've only dabbled with links a little bit, and honestly, I don't know if the C libraries are to a point where you could actually do that. Maybe you could. I just don't know enough assembler to really dive into that, because I think you'd be required to know some assembly language right now. But should add some sort of star item like Super Mario Brothers, and then Flappy can blow up pipes and stuff. That would be cool. Or just invulnerability might be awesome. Maybe create a what would you call that mode? Like leisure mode or something. So you have all these extra items that kind of just defeat the purpose of the pipes. And so this game is interesting because I don't know if any of you remember that Flappy Bird craze that happened back in, like, what was that, 2014, 2015 when it came out. But that was, the attraction was how quickly the game turned around, so it was easy to start again, but also how difficult it was. And so I'm kind of trying to maintain that spirit of the game. It's not supposed to be an easy game, but bounce mode. Let's try this one more time. I'm still not convinced. Okay, it's fine there. It looks fine. I think that's all I needed to do was those -8 pixels. And I did that there and there. Create a random distance. That's not really what's going here. I think I was just copying and pasting. Let's look at our other code now that we got that fixed. Pipes. So this is creating just a center point in flyer mode. It's greater than 90. That's the check to just make sure pipes aren't too far apart. That's what that's for. And I don't think, let's just highlight that. Yeah, there's nothing else going on here. So what I'm going to do is bump this up 8 pixels, which would be -837. or have an up pipe that if you go up into a special cloud level. I've few people have suggested that, and I'm really considering that. Having some special pipes like pipe 64. If you hit the up pipe, it sucks you in, and then you have a special level where you collect coins or something. You collect coins for 20 seconds till you go back to the normal level. Yeah, so the hard part with that is it really is going back, because you go outside the pipe. How do you inform the player to start flapping again? And maybe you just have a long period after that pipe where there's no pipe, so they can get used to flapping, and then you have a message that says get ready to flap or something like that. So there's ways to do it. It would be cool to have some Easter eggs like that. I'm gonna wait on that because I've already hit with all three of these games packed together. I have, I think, 1 megabyte left before I hit 6 megabytes, and so I still have some audio work to do, and unfortunately sound samples and stuff like that take up a lot of space. So if there's space, I'll consider doing that. A black hole appears and sucks you back to reality. That'd be cool. There's this, I have this lore, or if you want to call it fan fiction, it's probably just fan fiction. I'm embarrassed to say that. But that audit from Crescent Memories has sucked them into this alternate dimension, and he's torturing them with having to dodge pipes, and so there is an end game to Flappy McFur. So if you hit 999 pipes, I have a little cutscene to reward the player. So, and it is possible. I've done it before, especially now that you have this version has a multiplier. I don't know if you noticed that when you collect a coin, a multiplier goes up, and that increases how many points you get each pipe. And so you can actually on Dodger and Flyer modes, which are really fast, you can hit 999. I'm pretty sure I've done it on Flyer once, but yeah, so it's definitely possible to win. On Classic mode, I think I calculated how long it would take to beat, and I think it was over a half hour, something like that. It's something like 5 seconds between each pipe or something, so you could do the math and figure that out. But okay, I think well, I was gonna check these other ones out really quick. We moved that up 8 pixels, and I think the rest of these pretty much work the same, or not. Respawn pipes. So so right here, what I should do is create a unified variable for these modes. Yeah, right here. Okay, let's go try those other modes really quick, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to some more boring stuff. I'll talk about that when we get there. And it's stuff that I don't think I'll finish on the stream, but it might be interesting to talk about if you've never used Make to build your programs before. It might be interesting. Okay, let's try classic mode. Yeah, so those pipes start really far apart. So I don't even know if testing this really makes sense in this mode right now. So I'm also thinking, so sometimes that bottom pipe goes into the ground, and that hasn't bothered me too much, but it is, I don't know from an aesthetic standpoint if it's a good idea to do that, if it might be a good idea to always make sure that there's a little bit of that pipe being shown. I'm not sure. If you guys have an opinion, let me know. I was kind of holding off on that one with the playtesters because it doesn't bother me, but it may bother somebody else. So it's, yeah, like that too. Or the top pipe goes completely off. Oh, new high score. Okay, let's try mover mode. So this is probably the most difficult mode in the game. Oh gosh, that was, yeah. Is the pipes moving up and down. And so when they're moving up, it's not too hard. But when they're moving down, it can be quite difficult, especially in an emulator. It's because the gameplay's a little stuttery. It doesn't do that on real hardware, but there is a latency going on, and that stutter makes it a lot more difficult to. I think this mode is probably fine, because my code probably, because they're moving up and down, my code probably prevents it from going so far down. There's extra logic. Oh gosh, that was close. Oh, darn it. Okay, one more mode. If you're in the States, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, by the way. My Thanksgiving was pretty good. Lots of food, lots of family. It's really good. This is my favorite mode. I feel like the game really moves, and it feels great on real hardware. It's smooth as butter. And on future streams, I'll definitely I'll be doing some dev on real hardware. But this one's looking fine to me. I'm gonna do it one more time here. Yeah, that's probably as far down as it would go. That's that second set of pipes we just saw. We really have to get through 10 pipes to really tell. But I think we're good. So the key to this mode is to stay low and arc through the space between the pipes. I think we're good. I think we did what we set out to do. So, okay. Yeah. So what we're gonna do now with C code and possibly with other code, I don't know, I'm not experienced enough. You have something called makefiles, and these makefiles just determine what they do is they automate the commands to change your source code files into object files, which are then linked together to create your program. And right now, if we come to my primary makefile here, let me check something really quick. I just want to make sure everything's working, that you guys can kind of see. Okay, good, you can see that. You'll see here's all my source files. And right now, when I build the game, it builds everything at once. And that's why it kind of, when I run my build command down here, it takes a while for it to build. And that's fine once that's fine when I am building all the games all together for a final ROM, right? When I'm developing, sometimes I'm changing little things and I want to check them and I want to get to that part of the program quicker. So right now, the way my makefile is set up, it isn't working very well. So what I'm going to do, it's been a while since I've been in here too, and I actually didn't author this code. This is based off of, so I'm using something called the removers library to dev on the Jag, and these makefiles are based off of some example files that were included in that library, originally developed by Seb, who's the individual that built this library, and so his makefiles are kind of meant for those really simple programs. And so I was having a thought yesterday or the day before that I could rework this so I can send one command that says I want to build Flappy McFur, and it ignores all the rest of these source files for like Audit Will Be Watching right here, because that's what takes the most time, is Audit Will Be Watching. It's a much more complicated game. And so yeah, I'm hoping, what did I change here? Oh, I didn't save that. I should have saved that a while ago. I'm hoping what we can do is set up some commands that allow me to just say, hey, let's just build Flappy McFur. And so it built it really fast. And Flappy McFur is less than 2 megabytes. So I can send that over to my skunk board on the Jag, and it's really, really quick. I would like to do that. We do have some tricky things here. I have some source files that are shared between multiple games. So like this Vector C is a vector library I wrote for Oddball, but it's also used in Audit Will Be Watching for some particle effects, if I remember right. And I believe, I don't know if it's being used in Flappy McFur. I'm pretty sure I'm using a lookup table for Flappy's motion and everything. So it's Oddball and Audit Will Be Watching will be using this. And then like the text library for writing stuff on the screen. It looks like I have some screen tools. I have no idea what those are. Those are being shared. And some audio tools as well. And then the EEPROM code will be shared between all three programs as well. So I need to create 3 or 4 different, or no, just 3 states for the 3 games, but I need to make sure that these are included in each state. So I know I'll need to set 3 different variables, but before we do that, I need to look and see how our program's actually built. Oh, here's the other thing we got to do. I want to be able to send a command for when I want to just make it for JCP, which uses different flags for the linker. The linker is the program that takes all those files that are converted from your source code and puts them together for the final program. So right now I'm building a ROM which requires different start addresses and things like that. And so I want to create another 2 commands that I can run that say, okay, I want to do a JCP version, so a RAM version of the program that can start at address 4000, and use different flags and stuff for the the C compiler. So we got to do that too. And we're not going to get this done during the stream, but I wanted to get a start, see if I can at least split the source files up and keep and make sure that our program's still building. So these are the commands that actually run to compile our code and link our code and give us a final program. And so we have to look at these and find out what we can do. Make sure that we're doing everything we need to do, but set it up so we can do it for our 3 different programs. So when you run the make command, it runs this up here. And see, this is the thing. I'm not familiar enough with makefiles, and so I'm really kind of groping in the dark here on some of this. I've learned a little bit over time. Every time I jump in here, I have to go read documents and remind myself on how stuff works. Like these symbols here, I know they have to do with like the name of your project and maybe where you are, what directory you're in. Yeah, so there's a lot of things here I'm gonna have to figure out. Oh, this might be yeah. Yeah, I'm getting some spam in the chat. Okay. Let's see here. So the first step it takes, this is later, this is Alan, our linker. I'm not worried about that right now. Well, I may be worried about that here in a second. I need to figure out how it picks the files. So this is where it builds our object files. I think that might be what this command is. Let's see here, mad Mac. And then the Mac flags. That's in our other file. Source, crcc. Oh, it's building a dependency file of some sort. So when we run all, it creates a dependency file. I think that's what it's doing up here. And then for these 2 files it's going to be building. Search objects. Let's go. I think our objects, do we have anything that's just our flags? Let's search this. I'm curious where it finds. Nothing there. Right there. So yeah, it's just building a list of all of our files here. So what we need to do, this is the first part we're going to change, and I think we can do this. I still have about 30 minutes, so we can do that here now. Hi Ruth, how you doing? Good to see ya. I'm streaming on a Saturday, so I wasn't expecting people to be up this early. Tell you the truth, here in the States. So I was expecting people from like the UK and stuff like that. But just so you know, I'm doing some programming Can be pretty boring stuff, but maybe a little bit interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, I think what it's doing is it's building a list of our dependencies. And I can't show you, well, maybe I can't show you that. So down here in the console, let me expand this out because we're going to need to expand it out. You'll see, oh, there's no dot dependency file, because in Linux, anything with a period in the front actually hides the file. So if we do a ls-a, that should show us, maybe it's al. Yeah, al, like that. As a list, yeah, there it is, dot depend right there. And so we can actually take a look at that and see what it's doing. And it looks like it's creating a file list of all of our source files. So you'll see our header files like that one there, and then our C files like that one there. It's creating a big list of them. And that's how it knows what files to actually compile. So I'm thinking, I may absolutely fail here because I don't understand how makefiles work. I'm thinking if we just create 3 variables, so source, and we're going to go source flap equals, like that. A tab, and I'm just going to take the Flappy McFur code here and drop it into there. No, we already have a problem. Why is it doing that? Yeah, like that. Okay. Okay. And that should do the trick there. Fine with that. What's this? Graphic example. Not worried about that. Yeah, we're fine with the rest of that, but and then we just need to add, I've already forgotten what the name of it is. Source flap. I'm just going to copy it to here. And I think it will allow us to do this. Here and here. And we can test this pretty easily just simply by building our program again. So make clean. I'm going to do this. Sorry, getting some spam in the chat. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing it. But, yeah, so clear, which clears our console, make clean, which just cleans our project or our source files, just clears all the object files that are generated and stuff like that, and then make. That should. And if it builds, we know it will work. Yep, we're fine. Should be fine. Let me run our script just to triple check, double check. Oh, cool. This is awesome. I was hoping that that would work, and it looks like, oh wait, no, it's not working. Let's try it again. I forgot to save one of the files. Yep, didn't work. Let's see what it complained about. Turn the verbosity down on all this. My guess is it's just going to say, oh, I couldn't find something. Yeah. No, not there. Implicit declaration. Okay, so yeah, it's not finding certain source files. Unused variables. That's not a problem. Huh, what is going on? Did it finish? Okay, yeah, so it can't find Flappy. So this may not work. I may be up a river on this by splitting these two. Let's check out our dependency file really quick, see if it's getting. So looking at our, oh, I think I may need to remove the dependency file. Let's get rid of that really quick. Try it again. Because sometimes it doesn't delete that dependency file. I'm not sure why. Okay, no, same problem. So it's not a problem with that. So I'm going to take a look at that dependency file again, and I'm going to look for specifically Flappy. So it is adding those files. I'm curious to see if it's adding that specific C file. There it is. It is adding it. It is adding that to the dependency file, so it shouldn't be having an issue. I'm pretty sure if it's in there. Let's go look at the example again. See, I don't know if we can just stack things like this. That's the problem. I'm wondering. It is getting it in there, though. So that is working. That's taking our... I think that's just our C compiler. CC. Yep. It's just our C compiler. I wonder if I can run it a couple times like this instead. Oh, whoops, I want to delete this one. Let's see if that does the trick. Nope, same problem. Flappy.c. Let's make sure it got in there. Yeah, it got in the dependency file. It's there. That is interesting. Yeah, they're all getting in there. Huh. Why did I remove that? I want to keep that. There we go. Source.flap. Yeah, there's just something I'm not. It could be the make file, but it could also be the compiler's not liking that I'm sending this twice. Hey. Oh no, it just crashed. Let's see here. Okay, that's fine. Unresolved symbols. It's funny that it gets this far because I think it's building the program. Let's see here. Oddball. You know, the other way I could do this is I could, let's see here, I just want to make sure that, oh, it doesn't look like it's actually building the Flappy stuff. Okay, 1 second. It's going to look blank on your screen like I'm not doing it. Well, you might see the cursor floating around, but I'm going to take a look at that dependency file. Flappy. So it is getting in there. I wonder if it's the order that it's getting in there. Let's see here. Adds, oddball, and then audit will be watching. Oh no, then it adds it at the end. Oh, that's just the text libraries. Crescent Memories, object C. So what is, it's not finding in Crescent Mem.o. That's the unresolved symbol. I think it may just be an order thing. Let's see here. Let's take a look at our header here. Because I'm pulling those main functions for each game into this Crescent Memories file, or source file, and then we're referencing it right here. This is what it's complaining about. It can't find the function for that. And I just confirmed that we are building it, I'm pretty sure. Let me go double check that. Yep, there are object files. It's all being built. So it has everything it needs, but it can't find it, which leads me to believe it's an order thing, that it's the order in which the dependencies are added. Maybe. This is all guesswork. That same problem. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if it's go here. I don't think this is going to make a difference, but let's check it just in case. Yeah, that didn't make a difference. Huh. Oh. These do need to be on the same, in the same command. Because I think it's checking it with the C compiler to make sure it has everything. And that's why, yeah, well, no, because it's building everything. Let's try swapping these. See what happens. If anybody knows anything about makefiles, let me know. That's the same problem. That doesn't matter. I'm going to look something up here really quick. Actually, we might be able to do it here. GCC help. And see what those capital M commands are. See, and I don't know how to search up commands. Search for commands in here. Let's see your options starting with -G are automatically passed on various subprograms of GCC. In order to pass other options on these processes, use the -W options must be used. Linker. Okay. -help equals common. Equals common. Let's see what that looks like. See if we can find our -M in here somewhere. Capital W. Nope, not in here. Not seeing it anyways. Not there. What else can we look up? Target warnings, joined, separated, undocumented. Well, let's just go through those. Target. See, these are all target specific, so I'm thinking that our option probably won't be here. Yeah, not there. Okay. -MM. If you guys want to chat about something, let me know. This is pretty, I know, pretty dry stuff. Warnings. Oh, whoops. Help equals, I don't know why I deleted that. Those those are all capital W. Yeah, those are all W commands. Warnings and a caret, whatever that means. Let's see what that means. Where are you? There we go. Here. I'm not sure what that means. Oh. I think it's just adding. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. Well, I'm going to jump on the internet here really quick. Thanks for whoever's still sticking around. It looks like there's at least one person still on the stream. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. GCC-M option. Yeah, it's just requesting dependency generation, it looks like. Instead of outputting the result of preprocessing, output a rule suitable for make describing the dependencies of the main source file. The preprocessor outputs one make file containing the object file name for the source file, a colon, and the names of all the files included. So, unless specified, the object file name consists of the name of the source file with any suffix replaced. This option does not suppress passing M to the driver implies -E and suppressing warnings with an implicit -W. -MM, like -M, but do not mention header files that are found in system header directories, nor header files that are included. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. We're just hiding common header files, but anyways. Okay, so that's not a big deal. That's just telling it we are creating a dependency file. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I might be able to remove that. And that won't be, well, it does simplify things, which is nice. What's strange is that it is creating the file as it would initially. My gut is telling me that this is an order issue. It's just not ordering it correctly. Because if we add this back in, I just cut that, put it back in, it should work. Let's see. Hey Lee, how you doing? I'm doing some pretty dry development right now. Trying to alter my make file. But I'm glad you could join us this time. I'm going to be on for just about another 15 minutes or so. And then I'm going to call it good. But so that is fine. Why is it giving me a headache? It's adding all those, and then it's just adding this at the end, I'm pretty sure. So that's fine. For some reason, it may be creating. Let me remove depend again. Oh, depend. And run this one more time. It's not going to build correctly, but I wanted to go take a look at that. Here, let me open it up in here. I'll open just so we can take a look at it here. So it's adding, it just goes down that list in our make file. And so the Flappy, oh no, it's not. Flappy. There they are, they're all there. Why isn't Flappy states game win? It's adding it at the top. Then oddball. Then it's going to those. Huh. Let's try oh, duh, because that's at the top. Let's put this back after this. Yep, no good. Same problem. Can't find the Flappy source file. That's fine. pretty sure it's doing it. Let's go back to our dependency. Seeing it didn't reload the file. Oh, you know what's probably going on is it's referencing these again somewhere. And I'm just right here. Let's add that up there. There's probably just another place where it needs it. Let's search here, nothing there. Yeah, right there. That's what's going on. So I just need to copy these. Okay, I think I got this figured out. And this is src flat, like that. All our C files and object files, that should do the trick. Nope, still can't find it. Oh, I gotta save. Forgot to save all the files. So Lee, if you're still here, I don't know if you live in the States, but how was your Thanksgiving? You have a good Thanksgiving? I know it's different with all this lockdown stuff. It's still not finding. Make no rule to make target. That means there is another place where it's using this. Source H. Source H. Why did that build so quickly? Huh. Do I have a typo? Source C. These are our objects, which is anything. Yeah, this should be working. Oh. No, I don't need this. In fact, let's move this over here just so I don't lose track of where our C files are. Yeah, it really doesn't like that for some reason. Make file, distribution files. I don't think we need that up there. No rule to make target. Why not? Not worried about that. That's just our programs. Equals O. Other objects. Can I just do that maybe? Let's drop this down here. Yeah, it's just not even liking it now. Just delete you. Why is it building so quickly? It shouldn't be doing that. That's why. Yeah, so I don't think I can split these up. Let's try doing that again. Yeah, because I think this is just a wild card. It's going through, finding all RC files and just doing that, whatever's in the object list. Yeah. No rule to make target. Needed by... Reload. Oh, why isn't our dependency file building? Yeah, it's not even building now. Yeah, we're not even getting anything in there now. Let's Control Z all this. Like that. Then, here, let's get it back to a working state. Well, I am actually going to call it quits on this. I need to go do some more reading, just some more research on makefiles, because I am not as familiar as I should be with them. And that's okay. And this isn't the worst situation to be in terms of building the whole program. I actually do have a way of making it smaller. But it's a lot of steps. I have to go through, rename a few files, and then comment out quite a bit of code in order to get it to build correctly. But with only one program or another program. And I may be just stuck with that. I'm not sure. I'm a little worried I may have messed up on something serious here. I'm gonna just go all the way back to that. All the way back to that. The program should build now. It's not. It's probably that dependency file. Why aren't you building? I may have broken it. That's not good. Close file. Oh, I wonder if it was having a hard time with that file being open. No. No, that's not the problem. Now it's just not even finding. Oh, this should be working. Because I undid all my changes. There's something not right. Remove the dependency. Make clean. Make. What is going on? Huh. Well, I broke my build script for some reason. Not sure what's going on. ls -al. Dependency file's not there, but it should just be building it. Make all. Make clean. Yep, I'm hacking the Gibson, Bryce. I'm actually just about to end the stream, but maybe I'll have you stay on here and help me for a second if you have a minute. So I was messing with my my make files, and what I was trying to do is split the source files up so I could eventually get it so I could run a command for each game in Crescent Memories. So I'm only building the single game. wasn't able to get very far, and I just Control Z'd everything. I just undid. Oh, something deleted my. Oh crap! I think I just deleted all my source files. That's what happened. Oh no! Let's go take a look. I think it's a lot worse. It's okay. I have backups. Like, I'm not too terribly worried, but oh no, it just I think it just deleted everything in Flappy. Yep, it deleted everything in Flappy. So what we need to do before we close anything is we just go save. We just need to go through all of our source files and save as, save. Yeah. Save. Whoops. This is what happens when you mess with your make file. We're good though. I'm just saving everything out again. That's what that piano sound is, if you can hear that. Let's make sure that's good. Yep, that's fine. States, that's fine. That's fine. I think we're good. Let me check our source files really quick. There, yes, we got everything back. So, let's make, oh good, we can make our program again. Yeah, that was a problem. Yeah, so I was fooling around with, you know how it creates that dependency file? So if we go here to make file, and what it does is up, where is it? Dependency. It first builds that dependency file. What I was doing is I was splitting the source files here in my make file to different variables. That way I can, you know, separate those out later on once I create commands to build specific programs. I must have accidentally deleted somewhere here. It deleted the files. I'm not sure exactly why it was deleting C files, which it should never do. It had something to do with this. What I did is I created another variable with this, but for just the Flappy McFur files. And yeah, it decided to delete them for some reason. And it does that, like here, but it should only be deleting. So this objects variable, I'm pretty sure under clean, yeah, it pulls in our objects and deletes those, but it shouldn't be deleting the C files. So I'm not sure why it was doing that. It should only be deleting the object files. That was very strange. Anyways. You missed earlier in the stream, Bryce. I went in, I was just doing some simple fixes to how the pipes moved around in Flappy McFur. I don't understand all this coding, but it's nice to see what goes into coding a Jag game, so thanks for sharing. Glad I could make it, only for a short while. Yeah, it's what I was doing was it's just coding in general, and make files are still pretty much a black box for me. I know enough to get in trouble, obviously, but we saved everything, so I'm not too worried. I'm a little concerned now why that actually deleted my C files, because I copied this and I had a new variable just called source flap for the Flappy McFur source files. That's all I did there. And then here, the only thing I changed, the only thing this command's doing is creating a big file that just, it's a list of all the files in the file paths that we're going to be building object files out of. Like, this has nothing to do with deleting files. That objects variable, though, which I added here, does. But this, I'm pretty sure what it's doing is saying, okay, look at that list, these lists up here, and take the file name and replace the .c with a .o. and so it should never delete the C files, only object files. So I'm not sure why it did that. There's something, maybe I accidentally changed it so it did that, but I don't know. I'll have to tackle that some other day. Anyways, thanks for joining me. I'll try to make the programming a little more interesting. As interesting as I possibly can in future streams. I know some people want to see that, and so I have a whole list of things that I want to do, and so it's just a matter of deciding what I want to keep a surprise for the release of the game. That's something I have to consider, and then I have to consider how interesting it actually is, because I don't want to bore people to tears either. And maybe what I'll do, because and I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, so if you weren't here for that, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about taking one of my work days and making it just a Jag day, and in the morning I do a stream, and then during the day I do actual programming and stuff like that, and at the end of the day I do a game where I live stream, I do a let's play of some sort. And that way, people who are interested in just chatting with me and seeing code and that part of this process, you can come on stream and you can do that. And then people who want to be entertained a little bit more can come on for the games. So I would like to get Bryce on these streams again. We still need to talk about and see if we can line things up in a way that will allow him to do that. I'm thinking we may have him just join us remotely, but if we're doing gameplay, I would like him to be here too. And so we'll get something figured out. Geographically, we're more separated, and so that makes it a bit harder. But anyways, yeah, if you have any ideas for what you would like to see, just let me know. But oh yeah, that's right, you are in the UK. I should have known that. I think you've mentioned that before. But yeah, thanks for joining me today, Bryce, Lee, Ruth, if you're still here. Thanks for joining me. I don't know about the rest of you. One Bite Cake, Bob Dunlock, and XChaos49. Thanks for joining me. I still don't have a schedule for this. I'm still thinking through. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing this earlier in the week, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And once I decide on that, I'll actually start scheduling the streams out. And if you do have notifications set up in YouTube, you'll be seeing those notifications. But I'll also post it on Twitter and Facebook. Probably on the day that the stream is going to happen, or the day before if it's a morning stream. But yeah, look forward to that. Let me know if there's any specific games you would like to see. I'm hoping to do a lot more homebrew, because a lot of the homebrew people don't live stream it. There's quite a few videos on YouTube with people doing pre-recorded videos, but I'd like to live stream some of those games and actually strike up a conversation with everybody who joins the stream and talk about those games a little bit, because recently we've been getting some awesome new games for the Jag, and there's more coming too. Like I'm really excited about Gravitic Minds. It looks like a great game. I actually haven't taken the time to play it a whole lot. I've played the demo just a little bit, but I'd like to put some more time into it. But anyways, thanks again for joining me. Leave your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'm pretty sure everybody here has, so that's why you're here. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.